You think you know us, the typical UNAL student. Think again.
We are more than your headlines, more than your assumptions. This is the voice of those who refuse to fit in.
So, if you're ready to hear the real story, welcome to Not What You Think.
UNAL stereotypes.
Welcome to episode 1, Tuition Payment for Nacho Students.
Those students from the National University don't pay anything, and they are always striking.
Hi everyone, welcome to our first episode. Today, we are gonna argue about a common stereotype for UNAL students. Everyone at the National University studies almost for free. As we heard at the start of this episode.
Exactly, but is that even true? Let's find out today.
We are with 3 guests who are UNAL students and are gonna share their experiences related to this topic. They are Natalia, Sharon, and Johnny.
Thanks for being here. So, first of all, we want to know if you have heard these claims, and if so, do these claims reflect your experience? And if not, explain what you have lived.
Hi there, I'm Sharon. To begin with, yes, I have heard these comments, and in my experience, it is nowhere near to my reality. To explain, it is good to define certain aspects. The thing is, even though it is a public university and the state finances a significant portion, the cost of the tuition depends on many factors. There is something called the Basic Tuition Score, better known as PBM, which calculates how much each student has to pay. Right, Natalia?
Exactly. This PBM is determined by factors such as whether you came from a public or private school, the income of your parents, whether they own properties, and many other details. So, in reality, we all pay tuition, but in different amounts.
Okay, now it makes more sense. Johnny, tell us how your experience with tuition payment has been. It is fair for you?
In my case, I come from a low-income background and I studied at a public high school. Because of that, when I got into the National University, my PBM score gave me a very low tuition fee, almost symbolic. I also understand that students from socioeconomic levels from 1 to 3 are covered by the government's tuition-free policy. Plus, since I graduated from public high school, I was able to access a program called Jóvenes a la U, which provides financial and academic support to help students complete their undergraduate studies successfully. Thanks to all these programs, I've truly benefited from the support offered for tuition-free education.
Oh, that's interesting. Let's listen to another experience. Natalia, how has your experience been?
In my case, I have a high PBM because I studied at a private school and live in a high socioeconomic stratum. Additionally, I pay a large amount of money, almost 7 million COD, which is similar to the tuition at a private university. That is why the statement, "Students at the National University don't pay anything," is completely false. Everyone here has a different financial situation. That is why everyone has to pay a different amount of money. And as Sharon mentioned, tuition at this university is not free.
Oh, well, it's really interesting to hear the different realities. Sometimes from the outside, it's assumed that we all have the same benefit, but that's not the case.
Now let's do a little exercise. We are going to mention some myths and our guests will tell us whether they are myth or reality. 1. All students at UNAL don't pay tuition.
False! Remember that we all paid according to our family's financial capacity. Now, there are some students who don't pay tuition because they are beneficiaries of the zero tuition program. However, every student still has to pay for 3 other items. First, ID issuance. Second, system service. And third, Student welfare.
The second is the tuition fee depends on the socioeconomic stratum.
That's true. One of the factors that influences the tuition fee is the socioeconomic stratum of your household, which is verified through your public utility bills. Additionally, owning a home can also increase the cost of tuition, and this is confirmed with a certificate from the Agustin Codazzi Geographical Institute.
The third myth is if you studied at a private school, you pay more.
True, the university takes into account whether you pay tuition at a private school or attended a public school as one of the factors in determining your PBM.
Alright, we have cleared up a lot today. I think it's clear now what studying at National University provides more equitable access, but that doesn't mean it's free for everyone.
Well, and that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you to our guests and to all of you for listening. We will see you in the next episode, where we will talk about another common stereotype. So, what's your opinion? Comment us.
Not what you think. UNAL stereotypes.